The reviews are in. Saturday Night Live's Weekend Update is out, and MU180 is in. We're back for another episode right now. Grand Theft Auto sales are through the window. They aren't through the roof. They are through the window because people are breaking store windows and stealing Grand Theft Auto. I mean, when you sell a game that markets being a criminal, I think you should be proud when your consumers are becoming criminals and stealing your own product. After 4 Grand Theft Auto games being released, you have to expect that people would have learned some skills from the first 4 to be able to steal the 5th one. Well, Apple was surprised to see that the gold iPhone 5S was selling like hotcakes. I don't quite understand why Apple would be surprised by this. You have always offered a black iPhone, so obviously that one isn't going to have crazy demand because you could have always gotten that. Then there's the silver iPhone, which is, something different, but the silver iPhone is pretty similar to the old white iPhone that we could have bought for years. And on a side note, silver is such a boring color. When you go and buy a car, there is only one reason why you would buy a silver car, so that it doesn't show dirt and you can be lazy and never wash the darn thing. So if you don't want to buy the black one and you don't want to buy the silver one, obviously you're going to go buy the gold one. The gold one isn't that leftover option, it's the best option, and only enhanced by the fact that the other colors are so dull. Now we turn it over to the Marquette Top 3. Every week we count down the top 3 reasons to answer a question about Marquette University. This week's question, why is Marquette tearing down Sessenbrenner Hall? Well, at number 3, there was an extreme sewage plan below Sessenbrenner. All the toilets from Cobean apparently led straight to below Sessenbrenner, and the pipes just couldn't handle it. The number 2 reason is that Father Pallars, as his last act of president, wanted to tear down the building to start the building of Pallars Tower, a 34-story building with access only allowed to English majors. And the number 1 reason why Marquette is tearing down Sessenbrenner Hall is that the actual pronunciation of the building is Sessenbrenner Hall, and Marquette is cutting off all affiliation with the Germans. We end with a story from a Pittsburgh grocery store where there is reportedly a sale on strawberries. People are flocking from all around the Pennsylvania area to try and get their hands on these sweet berries. Get this, $1.99 for a pound and a half of strawberries. I'm considering getting the first flight out of here to go get my hands on this sweet deal. There's a reason why people are going crazy on this deal, and the grocery store is having to bring in strawberries by the truckload to keep up with this demand. No one dislikes strawberries. The highest grossing fruit smoothie? Strawberry. The milkshake option that's always available besides vanilla and chocolate? Strawberry. Strawberries are just so freaking good. Now, if I can put on my business analysis hat for just a minute, look at this. As a future businessman myself, this grocery store needs to get back to the basics. You don't put sales on items that everyone loves. That'd be like putting a sale on money. Buy $1 and get $2 for free. See? It doesn't make any sense. When you have people coming from hundreds of miles away to get your sale, then it probably means your sale is ridiculously stupid. We now look at analyzing a tweet from Billy Ray Cyrus, as my business analysis hat goes away. He's the father of Miley Cyrus, and the tweet regards her Wrecking Ball video that was recently released. His tweet reads as follows: trying to type, tweet, twerk, and riding Wrecking Ball naked all at the same time while carrying a sledgehammer is proving difficult. Peace. I know we still have all of October, November, and December to go, but is it time to give the Worst Father of the Year award now? Billy raised sweet little Miley, who tried to hide her secret that she was really Hannah Montana. But now Miley's only secret is the number of diseases she has. Yes, Billy, riding a wrecking ball naked while carrying a sledgehammer probably is a difficult task, but it's a difficult task that should not be attempted in the first place. I'm sure tightroping between Carpenter Tower and Strass Tower while playing a saxophone and wearing only one flip-flop is a difficult task as well. But you don't do stupid things like that. And Billy Ray, are you saying that twerking is a difficult task as well? Miley seems to have no difficulty twerking. She could be waiting for her coffee at Starbucks and a nice slow jazz song could come on, and she'd have no difficulty finding a way to twerk to that song. I think the difficulty Miley has with twerking is that she can't stop. She won't stop. Is it possible to be addicted to dancing? Russell Brand said that he was a sex addict, and twerking is pretty much sex and dance so Miley's pretty much addicted to twerking, pretty much. Billy Ray ends his tweet saying, "Peace," in all caps. What peace, Billy Ray? Peace out to you attending to be a good father? Peace out, Miley, I'm disowning you. God, I wish people would start talking about peace in the world instead of what new parts of Miley we get to see in the movie. Well, Billy Ray, nice attempt of a tweet, but maybe you should ground Miley for 40 years. At least it'd be 40 years of twerk-free music. We are going to take a short break, but when we come back, David will have our sports report. Well, seems like we liked him enough to keep him. So we'll see how much longer he's here. But here's David with our sports report.
And welcome back to another sports update with me, your amazing host, David Chavez. Here's a recap of the scores from the week. First, some college football for you. USC lost to Arizona State 41-62. USC's athletic director welcomed Coach Lane Kiffin back with a big fat "you're fired." Like, literally, he got off the bus and was fired right away. Sucks to be you, Lane Kiffin. Another score for you. Oklahoma beat Notre Dame 35-21. Okay, so I have to get this off my chest. Tommy Rees, the QB for Notre Dame, is literally the worst quarterback I have ever seen. Like, I could honestly go on that field and do a better job than him. I already got my jersey. I'm, like, super jacked. Like, just put me in, coach. Some notable scores from the NFL. The Detroit Lions beat the Chicago Bears 40-32, and the Kansas City Chiefs beat the New York Giants 31-7. Okay, I'm going to be real with you guys for a second. The NFL, in my mind, is so boring. I just feel like watching a bunch of old dudes play football with a few young dudes is just so unentertaining. To be honest, I'd rather watch NASCAR. Yeah, that's right. I'd rather watch 4 hours of nonstop left turns than sit through an NFL game. Some local sports news now. In the co-ed B division of intramural soccer, Globo Gym, my amazing team, lost 5-3. Now, usually teams are supposed to be upset after a tough loss, right? Wrong. My team didn't even care because we got Kit Kats right after the game. How can you be mad when you got a Kit Kat waiting for you? Exactly, you can't. And now for the bizarre sport of the week. This week, the sport is shin kicking. Yes, folks, people sign up to kick each other in the shins as hard as they can. The goal of the game is to knock your opponent to the ground as many times as possible within 3 rounds. What has the world come to? Like, really? You have nothing better to do? Anyway, that's it for me this week. Have a great night, Marquette, and happy shin kicking.
My favorite thing in soccer is shin kicking. So, well, anyway, unfortunately, Marco is out this week with a fractured pelvis. So I have your weather report tonight. The bipolar weather of Milwaukee is back. 80 degrees at noon and 22 and freezing at night. The weather in Milwaukee is like the opposite of The Notebook. It isn't predictable. Within the first 2 minutes of watching The Notebook, you already know the ending. You could study weather all your life, and if you got Milwaukee weather correct 3% of the time, you'd be a genius. The weather in Antarctica, see, should stop smoking, is heating up this next week. High for tomorrow is going to be negative 74 degrees. So is this a sign of global warming? This weather is warm enough for Kate Upton to wear a bikini. Of course, any weather is warm enough for Kate Upton to wear a bikini. Personally, I really don't understand why news reports care so much about the weather report. Why can't people just go outside and use their senses to figure out what the weather is like? Oh wow, it's raining outside. Maybe I shouldn't wear flip-flops today. Or if you don't like getting your socks and shoes wet, maybe you do wear flip-flops. Oh wow, it's pretty windy today and it ain't too hot either. Probably a good day to call on a sweatshirt or a long sleeve shirt. It's really not that hard. I hate when I have to turn on the news and watch a weather report rant on and on for the weather for 8 solid minutes of a 20-minute broadcast. There's a whole channel dedicated to weather, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. What is the point of the Weather Channel? Is anyone really that concerned with the weather? And if so, why? Why not watch some real news? Maybe do something productive. On that note, there is no more weather to report on. Figure out the weather on your own. After this short commercial break, we'll be back with the Social Report. Stay tuned. We now turn it over to Melanie with some more tips for our freshmen.
Zach, and now after a long debate with myself, instead of sitting on my futon, eating pizza rolls and watching True Blood, I was determined, as a good social correspondent that I am, I decided to go to an actual Marquette function. I know, it was a really big deal, but the day we thought would never come arrived, and I went to a Marquette hockey game. A Marquette hockey game. Now, I have never been to a hockey game before, but apparently getting incoherent and screaming indecencies at the other team is kind of like the norm. Then I got to witness the majestic act of 2 freshman girls fighting over a soft pretzel. And to top it off, on my walk back to the bus, I got intercepted by a particularly frisky couple. Astonishing. So as far as my first act of school spirit goes, I could give myself an A+ because I only saw 1 person puke. Gotta love Marquette pride. Now, since Marquette has made the smooth transition to fall, I have come up with a little game. Count how many times you see a student not from the Midwest complain about how cold it is. If you count more than 20, you get to punch a kid with a beanie on in the face. If I hear another kid from the South complain about how he can't turn the heat on in the dorms, I'm gonna blow. They don't even know what they have in store for them. I do a chuckle every time I see a Californian kid in a North Face winter ski coat. You would think this kid was about to climb Mount Everest, and you might as well just grab an oxygen tank while you're at it. Being a Chicagoan, I take advantage of this weather. Me and my other Midwesterners are running around in shorts and tank tops, praising the Lord, but then the kid from Cali comes out with his parka and his gloves on and ruins all of our fun. And then there's a girl from Arizona with Ugg boots and a wool hat on. I mean, come on, it's 65, it's not negative 30. Get a grip. Talk about culture shock. I wouldn't be surprised if the girl from Los Angeles on my floor had hand warmers on her person at all times. And don't forget that since it's technically fall, every girl on campus will have her Starbucks cup and her glued to her little mitten hands. But as for me, I'm embracing the nice, beautiful fall weather by spending it indoors where I belong, like the good social correspondent I am.
Thanks, Melanie. And look who finally decided to show up. We're so proud of him. He got released from rehab 2 weeks early. So here's Gail with a sort of Hollywood analysis, or something like that.
Thanks, Zach. Now, thank you for joining me, Gilberto Vaquero II. We're going to be talking about what news is affecting the world as we try to focus more on current events and their impact on the world as we know it. No, I tried, but who could resist juicy gossip? First, Miley Cyrus' pregnancy rumors have hit the streets, and that supposed father is rapper Juicy J. She must have been really thirsty to have taken all that juice. The rumor, however, is unfortunately false. The performer tweeted earlier today that she was not pregnant and that those were just rumors. Unfortunately, we will not be seeing the offspring of 2 very popular and well-liked celebrities. Now who will be Kim Ye and Beyonce's competition? Who? Moving on. Fans around the world are mourning the loss of some show I've never watched, Breaking Bad. This morning I overheard, while I was getting my usual morning bagel, say the following. Like, I know the government is going to shut down or whatever, but I'm like so upset that Breaking Bad is over. Like how? I don't even know or care what the government shutdown does. I won't get to see Walt Jr. anymore. Let's get Starbucks. I'm flustered. Moving on. Lindsay Lohan's half-sister Ashley Horn has reportedly paid $25,000 in surgeries to look like, wait for it, like Lindsay. She's 18 years old and she spent $25K on surgery to look like a depressed meth-consuming redhead. And no, I'm not talking about Kathy Griffin, I love her. But honestly, why would you spend so much money to look like your half-sister who, let's just say, isn't in her zone right now? Apart from obsessive and stalkerish, do you not understand what the biggest problem is here? She could have bought so many Twinkies with that money, and she spent it on surgery to look like Lindsay freaking Lohan. That girl needs less money and more self-respect. Preach? Glee is apparently a thing again. After the unfortunate death of Glee star Corey, who portrays Finn Hudson, you'd think Glee would know it's time to move on and go. However, it is staying for another season. Let's hope no other drug accidents occur before the season ends. No, it is not too soon. Bill Nye the Science Guy is kicking butt on Dancing with the Stars, although most of those stars have been people who have been living under rocks. But he's swaying in his classy self with those ridiculously awesome bow ties. And here's to hoping he keeps kicking butt as eliminations are this week. Britney Spears has a new song called Work, and I can't say the second word, but if you wanted to know, it's technically what female dog is. No further comment on that. And lastly, Ed Sheeran called Miley a stripper. Not that anyone cares what Ed Sheeran has to say, but that's all the gossip I have for today. I'll be seeing you guys soon.
Thank you, Gil. How was so? What was your rehab experience like? I'm glad that you were released 2 weeks early.
Yeah, I'm really excited that I was released. It was a little rough. I saw Lindsay there a lot. She kept talking about bunnies and NASCAR races, and I was just there to chill. You know, I had to get it all in my system.
Right.
But I'm here now, and that's good.
I hear that Tuesday is the best night for meals. Can you talk to us about what they serve at the cafeteria?
Yes. We saw Jessica Simpson there too. I sat with Chris Brown and Jessica Simpson for lunch. We didn't let Lindsay come because she wasn't wearing pink. We changed it from Wednesdays to Tuesdays, and she wasn't wearing pink. And it was Meatloaf Day. Meatloaf Day is on Tuesdays, and
The kind with the onions in it?
yes,
Oh,
I
that's
love
the
the kind
best
with the
stuff.
onions in it, because the cook, if you know the cook good, they might add certain things to the meat. And even though it's supposed to be rehab, you know, let's face it, like,
Yeah.
we need our stuff.
Right.
And we get our stuff. Because, look, it's us.
I mean, it's celebrity rehab. I mean,
It's
you got cool
celebrity
people
rehab,
like that.
honestly.
Let's turn now. Can you talk to me about? Have you had any like rehab experiences, or I heard that like you had something like this past
Like
weekend.
physical? Oh.
Can you
Oh my
can you
God.
explain to us about that one?
Well, as being a freshman, certain things happen, and having to go to like the medical clinic was kind of a common thing for me and my roommates. So, I mean, there's a cold going around. I don't know if it's the cups at McCormick that aren't being washed or something. So, we'll just see how it goes with all the sore throats and going around. So I just had to go to the medical clinic, and it was really gross.
Yes, be safe.
It was very gross.
I-
I think there must be something in Abbotsford.
I bet a lot of freshman girls are going to the free clinic.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know, gotta be safe though. Gotta be safe.
my God. David, have you gone to the medical clinic recently for being safe?
No.
No.
No. Like,
Any plans? Got a
Um,
schedule appointment coming up soon?
I mean,
or-
I have a bit of a cold.
In no relation to why I have a cold.
No. I
Are you
don't-
both freshmen?
Yeah.
Yes.
But we don't hang out. I don't hang out with them.
I mean, that's what I told my last Friday night too. I don't hang out with them.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, no. I mean, I have a bit of a cold. I was thinking about going, but I decided to just pop some pills. Not like bad pills, but like.
Well, what kind of
Like an
how many pills?
like an emergency?
Like if I want to get better, I take like 20, maybe 25 Advils, and then I'm better within 10 minutes, and I feel
Well, it's
great.
healthy.
That's a bit
really-
extreme. Like you might want to get that checked out.
Yeah,
I
I
take
think-
maybe.
I know, I think I
I
should
went
take
to
more.
rehab,
Like,
and I
just
took
take more.
40. So if you're past like 30, then you might have to go to rehab.
But I was thinking 2025.
So you're good.
It's
You're
okay.
fine. You're fine.
But once I pass
Oh,
30,
you're fine.
Yeah.
then,
If
then
you
I
pass
should.
that,
Okay.
Then I'll check you in.
Okay.
I know the person.
Discount. Are there any
Get a
good discounts
Oh
coming up?
yeah. You know, if you've been there more than 3 times, you get a discount.
But make
But
sure you bring your coupon.
And you
You have
get
to
a club,
bring
and you
your
get a
coupon.
club
the hole
swim
punch.
pass.
They hole punch you.
Oh, they hole punch?
They have the hole punch.
What if I,
you.
okay,
And they
if you
give
give
you
me
a
a card,
bottle
can I just
opener.
hole punch it myself? I love doing that
You
at, like,
know,
the
they have
coffee
a
places.
special hole punch.
You know, like the ones with like the stars? Those,
Yeah.
I hate those.
You can't find them.
I know.
You
Do
can't.
you get
find
like
them
a shirt, like a club member shirt?
No. You just get shoes. Really ugly shoes.
Are there Black Friday specials?
like the ones you get for giving blood?
No.
Like those kind
Yes,
of flip-flops?
except
Okay, but you
you're-
you can't give your blood.
Yeah, you can't
because
give my. Nobody
wants your blood
I could ever want or have my blood, unfortunately.
because of the
For a
rehab
while.
incident.
Why are you guys all standing? Why do I get the chair?
We don't have chairs.
Oh, wait, that's right.
We're not-
Because I'm lead anchor.
And we're not all paraplegic.
Yes.
It's fine.
I'll just like roll myself
can
off.
roll yourself
I'll just, okay. Yeah, this is my wheelchair, actually.
It's actually a wheelchair.
It has a great stability and all that.
It's
really
a chair.
good.
Lindsay
It's
has
a
one of these.
regular desk
Lindsay,
chair.
does Lindsay, yeah,
Really?
Lindsay has one of those.
We could like have pretend world here. You're wearing a Disney hat where all dreams come true. And my dream is to walk. Can I not walk? Are you saying I can't
I
walk?
think if you start dying,
mean-
Make-A-Wish might try and fulfill your wish, but you
Yeah.
have to be dying.
but,
Well, maybe
But
you can
let's
help me
not.
out.
but if you up your pill count, maybe you'll get there.
That's true.
My pill count. I mean, it's.
It's either Make-A-Wish or rehab.
I was
so
coughing
you wouldn't
earlier,
know.
so I
They're
probably
kind
do
of
need
the
to take
same
some
thing.
Advil.
They're kind of the same thing.
I mean, pretty close.
Close enough.
Yeah. Disney though, I love Disney.
Yeah, I mean.
Last time I went was before
I
my
like
second
Disney.
time at rehab.
When was the last time you went to Disney?
That's why
When'd
you
get
got
that hat?
into rehab
When
the
did I get
the
this?
first
Oh, I
time.
was just there like 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So, just like yesterday. Like
no,
you
like,
remember?
yeah, exactly.
I remember.
Did you
that.
bring photos for us to look at tonight?
It's a Small World is actually very scary, and I can admit that. If you feel
Did
like
you
are
cry?
yeah, you feel like you're on drugs, and you would attest
I would
to that.
know. I would know.
You
what
could
that
attest to
feels
that.
like.
It's
been to rehab.
very scary.
There's this at the end. Disney puts up this really nice show where they cover up their castle with like nice like graphics and stuff. And I don't know if it was because I was on something, but I started bawling at the end of that, like all the fireworks and stuff. Other than they terrified me. It was such a great show. I almost cried. Actually, I cried a lot.
You cried a lot.
I stole a baby's blanket, but you know,
Yeah.
it's whatever.
So was it the drugs or the emotions?
I
that
think
led
it
you
might
to
have
that?
been both, actually.
Yeah.
It probably was both,
Okay.
honestly.
Well,
So-
this is
Disneyland?
depressing.
Disney World.
Disneyland. That's right.
Honestly, this is my take. I think they should combine the two of them and just put it in like
Texas.
Lincoln, Nebraska.
Maybe you should have like a tunnel connected between the two underground.
With one of them
Yes!
tubes.
Walt would be so proud of us
With
right
one
now.
of
Oh
the
my
tubes,
gosh.
like the
Walt would-
special fast tubes. that you can
Oh,
just
yeah.
go.
yeah.
Walt would roll over in his grave if he saw that.
Oh.
I don't think so.
Really?
I think he.
You can
I
just
mean,
leave.
he's frozen.
You can
He'd
just
roll
leave.
over with the
Alright.
big fat
that a door
smile
over there?
on his face.
Isn't he
door?
frozen right
That's
now,
a door.
though?
Is
he
Like,
frozen?
I don't think he can roll over. He's frozen.
He's frozen?
But someone could roll him over for it.
That's true. I could do that.
Who froze Walt Disney?
He froze
Lindsay
himself.
Lohan.
I think she might have, but I heard that he froze himself because he wanted to be alive later in life.
I think
I
him
hear he's
and
coming back
Tupac
soon.
are right
so. He
next
might
to
come
each
back
other.
soon.
He's coming back
He'll
soon.
come back
Yeah,
soon.
so
He's
him and
coming back
Tupac.
as a hologram
Really?
at Lollapalooza
Yeah, I think they're both
next year.
frozen next to each other, and they're gonna come back and just rule the world.
That'd be scary, though.
Well-
I don't want to ride a roller coaster to work.
Right. That has been our talk with our crew. Maybe next week we'll have some more interesting discussions.
Hopefully.
That's all we have for you this week on MU180. We'll be back next week where maybe we'll have some more people here who start showing up. Stay classy.
Are we good?